Ready to love, unfinished business, or unrequited love? Hey, sweet people, welcome back to the chat suite. And today we have our recap and chat suite commentary about the reality show Ready to Love, season 4, episode 11. And woo, they brought the fire this episode, okay? Talking about unfinished business, like I said, or unrequited love. Was Kyra just upset because he didn't choose her? He didn't, and she was still feeling him. What was the deal? What was the deal? So we start the episode with that big topsy-turvy thing. AJ saying, I changed my mind. I still want
Jesus Christ.
I still want you. What do you think about that, Bev?
Oh my God. I mean, literally had, of course, from the last episode, we kind of saw he was saying, like, I don't know if I'm done with, I'm not sure if I'm finished with our connection, Kyra. Didn't know he was really getting ready to pull a for real okey doke where, flip the script totally 100%. Just, no, Kyra, I want you to stay here. Because like you said, remember last week when you were like, she said, can I have my hand back? And he was still holding it. And he put that information down on her, just like, no, I am interested in you. I don't think I made the right decision. I think that you are ready to love. I said, geez, whoopee, I almost threw my television out the window.
It was just like, what? I was thinking like, poor Alexis, what's gonna happen?
I mean, you know what we said, Shani. Poor Alexis, but at the same time, let our girl, like she said, let me get back to my babies. Like, let her get a moment of relief where she wasn't agonizing over whether or not this gentleman was going to choose her. Because come on, go ahead, Shani. Let them know.
No, I agree. But it's one thing that Kyra said that really kind of not threw me, but I was like, was this really her thinking when AJ said, I've just changed my mind. I don't want you to go. I want us to explore our connection some more. Mm-hmm. And when she said, I was just getting out, whatever. Like I said, I don't know what happened before that. Before that. But if, I'm gonna look at my little thing because I quoted it because I was like, quote unquote.
Right. Well, to get this right for you.
Whoever I picked, I picked that person. I'm not going back to anyone else. This is going to be the person that I pick. It's like, how do you know that? I mean, honey, we're just trying to get to know each other to see what type of relationship we can have. I'm like, she was acting like she was picking her husband for real. Maybe was that she's speaking metaphorically or whatever? I'm just like,
what? Listen, I mean, Shani, honestly, when she said that, I was thinking to myself, like you said, like, wow, like, I mean, do you know already? And you know how I feel about AJ. He doesn't want to be with anybody anyways. But I mean, really, when she said that, I was thinking to myself, maybe that's more of the pretense of the show. Like you coming on, you ready for love, you ready for dating and a marriage and full relationship. Because remember, Venetia said she wanted to be the first couple that came off of Ready to Love as a married couple.
But that's true because so that means it doesn't because how often that would be like a milestone, right? Because that has not happened as of yet.
No.
Like really, how many of these groups, people who get together are still together anyway? Like the people that got together on the show, you know?
Right.
So I don't know. We don't know how that goes, but that's a whole nother story, guys. Right? So moving on with the rest of the episode. Okay, so we learned that my Kyra, me, I love some Kyra, Team Kyra. She is staying. So we know then, therefore, AJ is going to have to tell baby Alexis bye-bye. So, but I will tell you, like I know what you said, Ben. What did she say? You said she did what?
Alexis walked out like a lady. I have to give her 100% credit. I mean, she stood down to her conviction. She had one of the greatest lines that they've said in this show. And I mean, I don't know if you have the quote directly, Shadi. I have like an abbreviated version of it.
When she said, yes, once I see myself the way that God sees me, then he will release the man for me. Hallelujah.
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 Glory to
I
God.
was like, girl, that's a word. Now that is a word.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Oh my gosh. Like,
Alexis, okay.
I mean, clutch the pearls on that one. I was just like, come through, Alexis, with your commentary. Like, she put it all the way down on that, because that was, to me, so true. It was so from her heart. She said how she felt. She held herself together, but that was so powerful when she said that.
And maybe that journey, like she said, that journey, even though we see her as being like, oh, anxious, and the quote with my quote, I would say quote unquote thirsty, but not really thirsty, like, right. We love you. But it was that she needed to go through this to realize, her worth and what she needs to do to manifest her man.
Yes.
Her mate.
Yes.
I love it. I brought that word. Lex brought that word. Okay. So then we're moving on to the babies. The babies there.
I love it. Tommy, he had them for this last part. And this is the last show, family, before the finale. So he said he wanted them to do a one-on-one date. And this one-on-one date would encompass getting past the ideal of being in a relationship and getting to the ideal of being a couple, a real solid couple. So he wanted to challenge them with their space. I mean, went through talking to everybody. And so when it got to Kyra talking about Jason, she was just like, you know what? Jason is we have unfinished business. And I do need to have a conversation with him, because some of the dating and some of the conversations that we've had in our last dating, I just didn't see it as, I wasn't, in essence, she didn't say this, but it was, to me, she was sort of saying, like, I didn't see it as though I was not Jason's number one.
Right.
As if she was blindsided by this. And so Liz felt some kind of way. I know what you're saying. Like Shani said, Jason and Kyra had been dating for the first 1 through 7 shows before Liz came on the scene with Jason as an option. And when Kyra was talking about, again, her and Jason's connection, Liz felt some sort of way, because she said, she felt like Kyra was really kind of like dismissing her, making her feel like she was a second pick. And she's like, I'm no second pick. I'm confident about the connection that Jason and I have. I'm confident about where we're going. And as she said, that's my boo. So,
okay, no offense to Liz, but lots of offense to Jason, because I'm sorry, Jason made me feel some kind of way. I'm just saying. But I believe that, in my opinion, Liz was the second pick, because in all the while, up until episode 7, until episode 7, he was still saying every time, Kyra's my pick. Kyra's my pick. Who you going home with? Kyra. Right. So to me, she was second choice. I mean, hey, it is what it is.
And even on the episode when all the men said we're going home with Kyra, Shani, like you said, Jason was like, what? Like, don't they know?
We've been kissing, and we had another level. And we still trying to figure out at the chat suite what that level was. So
I mean, I'm really wondering, was it another level? Because Kyra was really on a not really wanting to do a disconnect. Like, she really wanted to, it was that woman thing, like, well, hold on a second, like, let's talk. Let's get really eye to eye, because like I know, what's happening, right?
Yeah. Right. That's what I was like. I'm sorry. Sorry. To me, Jason's wrong for that. And if I were Liz watching the episode, because she doesn't know what's going on, like these previous episodes with them. If I see this, I'd be like, I would be feeling some kind of way. If I'm looking at this, if I chose him and I'm looking at these episodes and seeing how he's moving, because that's not, I thought he was wrong. But anyway, that's a little bit down the line. We're gonna speed it up because this is a lot. It was just, there were a lot of things between that trio.
And men, stop doing that. Stop having women like get at odds with one another because of the way you move in between women. Like, don't do that. To me, if you feel what you feel, then stick with it. And if you lose out in the end, then you just lost out. Like, because to me, I feel like on this issue, in this episode, nobody wanted to, people were just like, no, I don't want to not win. And I just remember, like I said, there's a lot of men and women out there in Houston. If they're not on this show, there's some out there. So it was really interesting to me, like how they were really fighting to hold that spot, maybe even with somebody that it wasn't their real connection.
I don't.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I don't really like. You were Kyra, you probably would. We would have. I don't know if I could say that, but if you were Kyra, would you have just gone off, left?
I would have bowed out. I would have said,
Wow.
I'm coming out of the space, because I really feel like Kyra wanted Jason. She didn't want to say that for sure. She wanted to explore what maybe could happen with AJ, but like she said, she felt like Jason could protect the heart. AJ wouldn't. Maybe she feels like AJ, because she dated him before. Maybe she knows him in the streets. Like, is he like a little bit of a playboy? I don't know. Like, what, why wouldn't she feel like he would protect the heart? But Jason would. She was more comfortable with Jason. But then when she wouldn't give Jason that defining information, that made him feel that her indecisiveness was a little bit disingenuous. And so you have to respect how he felt too. And so
okay, go ahead.
I'm just saying,
we disagree. Okay, Chuck, we still love each other, sweet people, yes, but it's like we're gonna agree to disagree on this one.
I know. I'm just saying, like, a man is a human too. Okay, and I'm pursuing you as a man. I'd like to know, again, I've showed you what I've liked. Yes, I'm giving this other lady this attention. I'm meeting her. We're going out. We're on a show. This is the process. We know we have to go through this. I'm just saying, the connection that Joelle and Vernisha had, like, Vernisha was like deadlocked. Boom, that's it. Like, nobody else. Like, she could have really got her feelings hurt too. I'm just saying, like, because she didn't lock on to any other guy. Where Joelle was out dating and kissing other people too. I'm just saying, like, you have to be careful. But she was just like, listen, this is it. Like, Joelle is the one. Kyra was like, I'm gonna explore him, and it didn't work in her favor, because unfortunately, Jason wasn't a guy who was like, I'm just going to ride it out. He didn't ride it out for her. And he didn't appreciate that she wouldn't, like, he said, what do you want? She's, I'm not ready to decide yet. And I can't make a decision if I'm not ready to decide, which I understand that. Don't make a decision if you're not ready to decide, but don't think somebody's going to sit there and wait for you to decide. And that's what happened so far that we've seen. That's
girl, but okay, did Jason do that same thing? Did he give her that same courtesy? Did he say, well, I'm going to choose you? Or he said, no, you know what? I changed my mind. I like Liz. I'm rocking with Liz. He wouldn't do that either.
What do you think about the moment when they were at the tennis court? When to me, that tennis court was their defining moment. When he was just like, what do you want? And when she looked at him and was like, I can't make a decision right now, that sealed it for him. He was like, that's it. Because I feel like he felt, we don't know, we didn't get the cutting room floor edit, family, but
not yet. Come on, we were looking for it though.
All right, come on, Tommy. Come on, nephew Tommy. We need it. But I just felt like he was just like, I mean, they're looking at these other episodes. Maybe he didn't want to be what happened to Rashid, the car guy. You know how, again, we keep going back to Adriana playing that game between Kalfani and Rashad. Yeah. And remember, Rashad wanted to step out. She's like, no, like, stay here, wait for me. Like, you don't know. You might be the one. And to turn around and to say, like, no, it's Kalfani.
She knew when she said that.
She knew when she said that. She knew when she liked the attention, them chasing her, as women do. I mean, we like the thrill of the chase. Nobody can deny that. We'll never deny that. But I'm just saying, Jason happened to be a guy that was like, that didn't work for him. And go ahead, go on.
Okay, but this is the part of the game. And then the point Kyra made was that, oh, now you rocking, you straight solid with Liz, because her person is her top person. Because David was always her top. She always chose David most of the time. One time she chose Jason. But so he's gone. So she is a sure thing. So he chose it because she was a sure thing. It was not because I believe that he would have chosen Kyra if maybe she had said, okay, it's you, whatever. But I think what made her not make that choice is because how he was rocking and moving at the ranch.
At the ranch, gotcha.
Because he was all, I mean, like I say, editing, we don't know how before or after, really, because it's the editing, we don't know, but from what we saw in the episode, that previous one, that he was mostly giving his attention to Liz.
Right. I agree with you on that. I
probably was like, well, hold up. Maybe I made a mistake. Because maybe she assumed that when they got there, they would be like, rocking and rolling. Yes, coupled up like Vernisha. Well, after the argument, and Vernisha and Joelle. And then when it came like that, she was looking like, because you could say, I remember she said she was, feeling a little kind of way. She made some comment of that. I think one of the previous two episodes.
Well, I know, but But she's still at that. She's still. I mean, I don't. I mean, I just disagree a little bit, Shani. I don't think she came to that ranch thinking that it was going to be her and Jason all like booed up. I think she came to that ranch thinking she was going to have two men chasing her, and she was going to be able to play that dilly dally in between them. And Liz was over to the wayside, and Liz wasn't a threat to her, and Liz wasn't making a difference to her because I have both of these men wanting me. And again, Jason maybe is just not that type of man. I will chase you, but when I see that you don't have complete interest in me, you won't tell me that, because I think Jason really wanted her. I really do.
Mhm.
No disrespect, Liz, but I, and we don't know, like I said, but from what we saw on the television, it seemed like him and Kyra was more of a better match.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just think Jason happened to be one of those guys. It's like, nope. I'm done. And
The two babies, they got, we know they all together. They all look locked and loaded, all booed up.
Yes.
So,
one thing I want to say about them, Shani, I like that when Venetia cooked him dinner, she said she wanted to show him a softer side of her.
She said she considered herself aggressive. I'm like, wow, okay. She said, I'm not always aggressive. I wrote that down. That was one of my things too. Like, she's like, I want to see a softer side of me. Okay.
Right. And I appreciated that with her. I guess she could have been perceived that way.
Like the little chocolate drops, Chris and Amber.
Yes. Chris and Amber, come on. Somebody's got to have some intimacy or something.
Amber. Yeah, Chris put the whammy on her when he told her that he was not, he was practicing celibacy or semen retention. That's like, what? And Amber's like, she ain't having it.
And she said, I'm pretty sure I'm convinced that I can change your mind. Yeah. It's just like, what? Like, wait a minute, like, hold on. So, but like she said, you can hold down to it. But then when you get with somebody and the connection is right, what happens between even if they don't continue on after the show, they seem like they could make a good friendship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like, if, who knows where they're at. And if he wants to stand down on his conviction with that celibacy, and she's like, oh my goodness, like that might not work for me, they might still have like a really great friendship that they could explore. Mm-hmm. So this is, again, coming back. Tommy said he wanted Kyra to clean up this unfinished business with Jason. And so she decided to get him on a date so that she could clean up this unfinished business. But again, didn't go in favor. I mean, even though, Johnny, I know you felt like Jason did it wrong, has misled her. I will say I appreciate the fact that he did not backpedal on his decision, because I really thought she thought he would do that. Because for family that did not see this, when the ladies were at the table, Kyra brought up something about the fact that Liz was interested in, abstinence, and Jason was not. How she wouldn't work in Liz's favor. Again, you never know.
Now, my dear Kyra,
yes.
my darling niece.
I love Kyra. Kyra was my favorite.
I think you misspoke on that one. That wasn't really your business, boo. But I'm still on your side. But that part right there, she should have kept her mouth closed on that one. I don't know about that, because you don't have anything to do. It's always worry about you, right? Worry about him. That's why I'm sorry. Jason is a heel to me. I don't, a buster, a boogaboo. I just don't like that. I'm sorry, because I believe, because then he kept saying, then why would you ask her? So you're trying to set her up. So when they have that meeting together, Jason and Kyra did meet to try to finish the unfinished business, but the business got finished. All right. But it turned into unrequited love, because I really think she wanted to choose him. Me too. She did want to choose him, because all the stuff she was saying, all the commentary, afterwards, a little confessional, how she was saying, it hurt and all that stuff. She wanted to choose him, but he wasn't going to choose her. And then he was like, "What do you want? What do you want, dude? Jason? You wouldn't say what you wanted." So what if she had said, "I want you"? Then what would he have said?
Well, remember, she asked him what was that part? She said, if I had said something different, would your answer be different now? And he said no. That's what rocked her, because she's like.
But I'll just say that Jason is, I don't want to trash anybody, but I mean, I think he was weak for that. Oh, that's what he said about she asked him about what he said, because I guess she was going back on what Liz had said and she was confronting him about that. I can't remember Queen. I can't remember what?
Yeah.
And then he's gonna say, I don't see the relevance of the meeting with her. Dude, but we been kissing. Don't they know me and Kyra we are connected on a level higher than anybody has or something like that? But yet now you acting like you don't even want to be around her or whatever. Why? Because you weak. That was wrong. Don't do that. Why did you do that? Because you did, to me, I feel like he did choose, not to say he wasn't attracted to Liz, not to say Liz is not a wonderful person. She is all of that. However, because she had no other competition. He had no other competition. To me, I felt like he was safe. He thought he was safe and chose Liz, but he really
Just so he would get chosen.
So
he would be one of the
last. He would be rejected. Yeah.
So he wouldn't get rejected. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, family, listen, Shani and I, listen, we usually are together on this. We got a little split decision on this unfinished business because we got some unfinished business.
Right.
Right. They get us torn in the chat suite. They get us torn in the chat suite. Stop it, you all. So, but yeah, it didn't go in her favor. Family, for anybody that didn't see it, Jason did not backpedal. He said he made his decision. That was it. Felt like talking to Kyra was beginning to feel like an interrogation on their dates, as opposed to just really trying to get down to what was going on with them. I really feel, Shani, I think you and I can agree on, you and I both felt like Kyra and Jason really wanted each other. Somehow they came to some sort of like impasse they couldn't get past. They couldn't just say it to each other. Like, I want you and you want me. Just say it. I was disappointed at them for just not saying it. It's just like no one wanted to say it first. And that was like, oh man, that's bad. That's bad. They may have missed out.
I agree, but to say that she's disingenuous, you're just as disingenuous as her. It's like to say those things, and to be like that just to me was, and say that, did he say something about that felt like she was playing a game? He said that.
Well, no, he just said that the fact that she wouldn't make a decision made him feel like that didn't sit well with him, and that really made him feel like she was disingenuous in her moves and everything. One thing I will say that Kyra said about AJ is that she really appreciated that. See, I'm telling you, Kyra is really on her. She wanted to be the one to pick. And I'm not saying that a woman shouldn't, but she wanted to have the power. In this particular situation, she lost the power with the men. She lost it with Jason. He said, listen, I'm okay, go with AJ. I'm not, if you don't want to if you can't make a decision about me, that's fine. I'm moving on with Liz. She lost the power. AJ now has the power because he was just like, okay, you are not ready to love, but stay here. I really want you to love, which made her, I'm sure, like, oh God, like, should I stay? Should I not? She went along with it. But she did say she appreciated the fact that AJ, again, allowed her to prolong her decision. And that showed her how he would handle her in the future. I mean, listen, just like you want someone to be accepting of how you are moving and how long it's taking you to decide, reciprocate that. I'm sorry, not a one-sided thing. If you want something, you got to be able to
exactly. But she didn't do that, though. She didn't do that.
She didn't do.
He totally chose. Because I guess I wonder, like, let's see if they had. I wonder if the women had to be the ones to have chosen, except the men. Who would she have chosen then? She would have to have chosen one person, and it would have been Jason. It would have been Jason.
She should have said something at the tennis court. Sorry, family.
But when she found out that Jason chose Liz, I said she would just feel some kind of way. Just how all
Get out of your feelings. Get out of your feelings and get into love. Are you ready for love or not?
But how can you not? Because if she was used to him, them having their connection, and then he gonna come and just like look like he just kicked to the curb. So I understand how she felt the way she felt. I understand.
Okay. We split.
And then remember she said the discourse, but she said she was sorry that the discourse between she and Jason allowed someone else to come in.
Yeah.
And so to me, there's that thing that she Liz, love you, boo, but you are second choice, because he wanted Kyra first. And because she was not saying exactly what he wanted to hear, and he wasn't sure, he said he was confident that Liz was going to choose him because Liz had no other choice. But he wasn't confident in Kyra's choice. So that's why it was safe to choose Liz.
Well, All I can say is, Kyra, you should have stepped up. I'm sorry, like Kyra, step up and claim what you want, claim what's yours. Stop worried about AJ, and she should have just said, like, listen, Jason. I mean, hands down, this at that tennis court, hands down, it's you. Just like Venetia locked and loaded on Joel, hands down, it's you. Like, not well. I mean, I know I still want to explore what's AJ. Like, nah, you. I mean, what if a man tells us that? We wouldn't want to sit back and like, oh, you're telling me it's me, but now you're telling me you want to explore another lady. And so then forget it. Then no, bye. Like, I mean, anyway, bye, Chat Suite family. We all toe up over here in the Chat Suite.
Well, like I said, we're gonna agree to disagree because I still feel that Jason is wrong. I mean, nothing against Liz, but Jason, you were wrong. He's the one who played the game, like Kyra said. He played the game. So we'll be fun. All right, fam. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen next week, because now next week they have to meet each other's families. Not
don't seem like nobody wants to do that,
right? No, you see those faces? Those faces that was like, what?
Yes, I said, oh my goodness. Like, I don't know if that should be a part of the show. Like, that's too much a little bit.
That's a lot. When you meet someone's family, you're stepping over. You're going over a threshold. You still, you know, it's like once you get past that, it's like, wait,
right.
Yeah. So I don't know about that either. That is
because you're really saying on Ready to Love, like you trying to get people ready for marriage. I mean, it's
right.
I mean, we already that's a show like that already, Married at First Sight. So it's right.
Yeah.
This is just getting us ready for love, not, you know, I mean, you got to get ready for love first.
Yeah, exactly.
Walking down the aisle, so to me they went a little bit too far this time, but yes,
right. Cart before the horse, right? Yeah. But anyway,
all right.
So yes, so there you have it, guys. Unfinished business, unrequited love. We'll see what happens next week. So stay tuned for our Chat Suite commentary on the Ready to Love franchise.
On the final episode next week. Oh my God. Who's going to show up over those bridges when everybody's standing?
I know. Who do you think it's going to be? I don't know if it's going to be AJ and Kyra.
I hope not.
Oh God, you're a hater, man.
No, I just know she doesn't want him. I don't want her to do that to herself. Because I know she doesn't want him really. And I don't think he really wants her. I think they could do some more dating, but I don't think they're really ready to solidify on one another like that. You know what I mean? But
probably right.
Yeah, I would
she
say
said she wanted to get to know him because she said she hadn't put her. She spent so much time, which is why she was mad. Spent so much time. Oh Lord, we're gonna get back on this, but I don't know. So let's talk. I said she spent so much time on Jason. She didn't have enough time to get to know whatever. But anyway.
I agree with you on that, though, Shani. I agree with you on that.
Yeah. Okay, guys, so we will see you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, please, and share and add your comments in the comment section. All right, see you next time.
Bye.